Hello, Pearl Jam fan community. Welcome to the Wishlist Foundation's interview series, Candle of Thought, where we illuminate the people, causes, and music that are important to the Pearl Jam community. I am your host, Chrissie Ferguson. Today, I'm excited to chat with artist, author, singer-songwriter, and musician Kate Neckel. Kate's artwork has been featured in national campaigns, exhibited in galleries such as Winston Vector, and showcased on stages like New York Symphony Space. Her collection with Prospect, New York can be found at the National Museum of Women in the Arts. Kate's distinctive storytelling style has been commissioned by business leaders, athletes, and private collectors. She has also collaborated and released art and music with Pearl Jam's Mike McCready. Kate's musical journey also included a collaboration with Eric Lillevoix in a band called the Copper Trees. Kate's creativity obviously never sleeps because she is now writing and recording and singing new music on her own. And today we are going to learn more about her newly released singles. So welcome, Kate, and thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you. So nice to be here. Thanks for having me.
So your journey with art began, I read, at a very young age. And I think I read somewhere that you were in fourth grade when you took a marker to your pink Converse. So has music also been something that's been a part of your soul since you were very young?
No, for sure. Music was something that I always wanted to do. I wanted to sing, I wanted to play guitar, but I never thought that I could do it. I was very moved by music, and I remember trying out for choir and just feeling really intimidated. And so that didn't happen. I just was an observer for a long time, and then I would collaborate with musicians and artists, and I worked with David Byrne for a while as his art assistant and got to have kind of a firsthand experience with music and art through him. But I never thought about music the same way that I think about painting. I never thought that I could pick up a guitar like a paintbrush.
Right.
But that being said, I always had a guitar with me. I started renting a guitar like my freshman year in college. And then the Little Martin that I play now, I got that, maybe in 2005, something like that. So it's always been around, but it wasn't until I moved to Seattle that I started playing.
And I imagine that also with painting, you're always listening to music.
For sure.
Are there particular types of music that inspire you when you're painting?
It kind of depends on what I'm working on or what I'm working with. I'm trying to think. To be honest, lately I've been listening to a lot of audiobooks, but in the past it's ranged from, Graham Parsons to Kendrick Lamar to the Rolling Stones to Ben Queller. I tend to listen to things on repeat.
Right.
Yeah.
And so recently you have moved back to New York.
Yeah.
And so have you found different inspiration with maybe your art, but also with your music now that you're back in New York?
No, for sure. I mean, the city is and has always been like my biggest source of inspiration. And what I've really enjoyed is just being able to capture what I'm seeing on the street or just these moments that are unfolding, constantly as you move through the city, whether I'm walking my dogs or going to the subway, whatever. So just capturing lyrics and capturing pictures in my head of, what the city has to offer has definitely been informing the work. And like the shapes, even on the paintings, like you're starting to see more of these kind of grid-like structures and the buildings and the shapes.
When you're writing for your songs and your most recent singles, do you carry a journal with you?
I carry it's like a little tiny, almost like a small moleskin. So I jot things down in there. I do a lot of voice memos, add notes, things like that.
I noticed I don't know if you still have it, but you had a creative sketchbook on Amazon.
Right.
That tell me a little bit about that, because I know a lot of people,
Yeah.
especially singer-songwriters and artists, and even me being a teacher, I have students
Yeah.
who want to carry a notebook around them, and they're sketching all day, their thoughts, their images that come to mind, things like that. So,
Totally. Yeah, that was a really fun project. I wrote that book and illustrated it. I think it was in 2015 that that book came out with Chronicle Books, Start Now the Creativity Journal, and it's filled with prompts and, questions and just little bits of creative inspiration that can maybe help you jumpstart taking action on your, whatever it is you're trying to do, because it is hard. It's like lifting weights, or, you don't always want to sit down and draw a picture or write a song or give yourself that space and time for yourself or for creativity. But I felt like that book was a good landing spot for little moments and little moments throughout the day to just have that, to have a prompt and then have a space next to it to kind of answer that question or to do whatever you want.
right. Yeah, it is almost like exercising. You have to set the time aside and let yourself have that creative time, with
For sure.
so many of us being so busy. So tell me about the inspiration behind the songs that have recently come out. I've listened to them, and they sound a lot. The lyrics sound very deep. So again, I'd love to talk about your inspiration with that, but I also, I hear a lot more kind of power in your voice in these songs, um, and I think when we talked back during COVID, I told you your voice reminds me so much of Edie Brickell, who was someone I listened to
Oh,
growing
cool.
up. Um,
I love that.
but I just, I feel like these recent songs are, you really take an ownership of them, and but they're also very mysterious. So I just kind of wanted to learn a little bit more about them, and tell us the names of the
Yeah.
songs.
So the first song I put out was called Salt Lick, and that's a song that I think I wrote back in 2019, maybe, the lyrics at least. And it was inspired by growing up in Miami. It starts off, I came from the sand, waves at my feet, sun licking every spot, naked under sheets. Um, so there's like Miami as the core inspiration, and then just this kind of visual of fishing as well, because we used to fish off this dock in Miami and the fish pulling down. I feel you pulling want to take me deep, but I only draw a line at a time. So it's a combination of like the lines of the fishing pole, the lines of the drawing. I didn't really think much about it when I was, it just kind of came out, just kind of like a drawing can come out. It's just this little sentiment of remembering growing up on the beach in Miami.
Right.
And then Wave Break, those are the original lyrics. That song, before it became Eyes, so with the Copper Trees, there's a song called Eyes, and Wave Break was what I initially wrote. And so, it's just like this I'm all alone, nobody's home, nobody's here, just me and fear. It's just kind of like this. I don't even know where it came from, that one. Wave break, heartbreak,
Yeah.
maybe a little bit tied into the Miami surf, wave days.
Right.
But wave break, and then X-Ray Man, that was the first or the second song I wrote, and that one happened during my collaboration with Mike. There were these comic books so that we were cutting apart to make art with for the Winston Wachter project, for that gallery show we did. And in the back of the comic, it said, X-Ray Man, see bones through skin, X-Ray Man, fear no man with the glowing eyes. So I just kind of put these words together, and then it became X-Ray Man.
Oh,
And that's the song I've been trying to record forever. I don't know, I love that song. So
do
now
you?
we have
Yeah.
X-Ray Man.
And are you planning on putting together an album, or right now you're just, releasing a few singles here and there and then seeing what comes of it? Or what are your goals and
Yeah.
plans for these new songs?
Um, Right now, I'm really enjoying creating at the pace, creating songs the way I create drawings. So I have a kind of a practice of creating a piece of art every day or taking time for drawings. And so I have a home recording studio situation that I've set up here. It's very simple, but I'm really enjoying just tackling this list of songs that I've been trying to put out into the world since 2019, really. And if it turns into an album or something, great. But really right now I'm just enjoying the full control over doing it at my pace and just getting them out there finally.
Right. Yeah. And having your voice heard through your music. That's great.
For sure.
So would you like to share one of these songs with us?
Yeah, I can play a little bit of, maybe we'll do a little bit of X-Ray Man or Wave Break, or what would you like to hear, Chrissie?
Do you want to do X-Ray Man?
Sure.
Okay.
Let's make a little space. We'll give you a little
city background.
I was gonna say, here's New York. I'll give you a little New York. Do you want me to play the whole thing, or just cut me off after you've heard enough, or whatever?
Well, it's up to you.
All right, we'll just play. I'll take your picture, I'll take our time. Pull your head back and I'll paint the line. Cut you open and cut me too. Put us together, a mirror or two. Use me up, I'm here all day. Open chords that seem so sway. You're no man with his glowing eyes. Open heart, I know that size. Extra man, bones through skin. Extra man, let me in. I framed your mind and I scraped it through. Out the door with a train track view.
I love it.
That's the first verse.
That sounds great. And where can we hear everything?
All the places, and Instagram really is a great place just to see the art, the music, the daily offerings, and yeah.
Okay, great. Well, we wish you the best of luck with all of this new music. It
Thank you.
sounds great. And I know you have a lot more creativity in you, so I'm sure you have more to come.
For sure.
Well, thank you so much, and hopefully we'll be talking to you soon.
Thanks, Chrissie.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.